Hey, what's up? So this video is for Tuesday and Wednesday because we're going to be doing the same thing. Well, we'll be finishing it. So that over there, we're going to do the CER bowling on page number 75 and 76 of your notebook. I just want to get a notebook in my hand, so hold on just a moment. Okay, so first things first here, I'll say, you can just write this down right here for both, okay? So first things first is this thing right here. This thing over here, right, is this idea of how does this look as a scan? It doesn't look that good. So just remember when you're scanning your stuff, your PDFs, all that kind of stuff, just remember that if you look at your scans and if they look fuzzy or they don't look good, then maybe you should try and rescan. Now here's the thing is I know that I could scan better than that, so that's why I'm like, okay, let me get to rescanning. And then it turns out I changed some setting on my phone somewhere, and then that's why it was looking fuzzy like that. And then I was able to rescan it. So just make sure that if you scan things and they don't look good, that you rescan them, okay? All right, cool. Let's move it along. On to the next thing. So let's just talk about this for a moment. So why do some objects require more force than others to move, right? So think about that. Fill this out on page number 46. Again, pause it. So why do some objects require more force than others to move? Pause it and then think about this and write this down on page number 46 in the after instruction. Okay, hopefully you paused it. Like be honest. Make sure you paused it and then you got that done. All right, so let's just talk about this. So some objects require more force to move because the objects might have a lot of mass, or they might have different masses. So the more mass an object has, then the more force is required to move it. And on the same hand, the less mass an object has, then the less amount of force is required to move it. By the way, we are having a quiz. This question right here will be on the quiz. Just letting y'all know. Okay. Let's just read through this. So this is on page number 75. So again, if you need to pause this video, get yourself over to page 75. Totally cool. Let's just read through the whole thing. So Miss Roberts' class won a day at the bowling alley for their good behavior all year. When they arrived, Jason picked the green ball that weighed 6 pounds and Amanda picked the yellow ball that weighed 12 pounds. Amanda was having a hard time getting her ball to roll down the lane. Jason was doing great. He was pushing his ball hard, and it was going straight down the center. He even got 2 strikes. Okay, cool. So we got the scenario. Mrs. Roberts' class, they're at the bowling alley. There's 2 students, Amanda and Jason. One has a 6-pound ball, that's Jason. One has a 12-pound ball, that's Amanda. And then it kind of tells us how they were doing. So what I want you to do, since we read through that, what I want you to do is go through and underline. Again, this is on page 75. Go through and underline and highlight all of the different pieces of evidence there are. So pause this video and then underline and highlight all the different pieces of evidence that there are. Okay, cool. Let's do that. All right, do you got all of your evidence lined up there? So we're just going to look at this evidence and we're going to kind of divide this evidence into 2 pieces, okay? So we're going to talk about the things that have to do with Jason and then the things that have to do with Amanda. Let's go ahead and do Amanda's first, okay? So Amanda picked a yellow ball that was 12 pounds. That's the important part. It's that the yellow part might be important. I'm not certain, but for sure the fact that her ball weighed 12 pounds is important. Then Amanda was having what? A hard time. So let's highlight that part too. Sorry, my highlighting has been kind of crazy right there. Having a hard time getting her ball to go down the lane. Okay? Totally fine. Now that's everything that we see in there about Amanda. Let's switch over to Jason. Jason picked, right? So we got Jason, and he picked a 6-pound ball. That's cool. Jason also says he was doing great. Now the awesome thing is it tells us, oh yeah, he was able to get the ball to go down pretty fast. It says hard, that means fast, accelerating, or with a lot of force. It was going straight down the center, okay? And he even got 2 strikes. So that tells us a lot about what's going on with Jason. So those are all our pieces of evidence. Now, why would I have you guys actually notate this out right now? hopefully you're understanding that the reason I'm having you put this out there is because later on I know that you're going to need all these pieces of evidence in order to write your CER. So make sure, this is important, like if you have a scenario, you might as well go and underline those things. Or when I used to read long papers, like they're 20 or 30 or 40 pages, I would be underlining, highlighting, circling as I was going. That way it makes it easier that when I go back, I can find a piece of information much easier, okay? So make sure that you do that, all right? Oh, I don't want to do that. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get off of that page. So now we got all the evidence lined out. Now what you're going to need to do is down here. Ooh, I should go back. Blot out. Yep. Oh, you can't. Okay. So down here where it says the prompt, so it says write a scientific explanation about why Amanda was having a hard time. So that is the question. Why was Amanda having a hard time? And a hard time doing what? And let's see if I can put that back on there. So Amanda was having a hard time, right? And let's just look at this. Is that a pen? Oh, it's just a pen. All right, Amanda was having a hard time doing what? What was she having a difficult time doing? Bowling, right? So you could put that. She was a different time bowling. Or right here, it says a hard time getting her ball to roll down the lane. And hence, why you're having a difficult time bowling. Does that make sense? So just make sure you understand that about the prompt, that she's having a hard time getting her ball to roll down the lane. Now go ahead on page number 76 and write your claim. So your claim should, let's hear, I'll show it to you guys. Boom. I mean on page 76, page 75. It should be right there. So right here below, this is where you're going to write your claim. Okay, so go ahead and write your claim in there. And hopefully you got something like, Amanda was having a hard time bowling because. So it should be something like that as you are like writing up your claim. Again, Amanda was having a hard time bowling, and that includes, so then that lets us include the prompt and the claim into the same thing. So here, I'll write this at the beginning. I'm not going to write the last part of the claim because you got to write that. So Amanda was having a hard time bowling because, and then this is where your claim would come right after that part, okay? So the claim would come right after. So then you're going to say why. Again, that's where you're going to put your claim. Blah, blah, blah. Like whatever your claim is, okay? Now, we already got, so now we got claim, we've got evidence. It sounds like we're ready to start writing up the CER. So let's just talk about this for a second, and then basically I'm gonna let y'all go on these things. Okay, so it says we had to come up with a scientific explanation. So don't forget that. Write a scientific explanation. So it sounds like we need to use some scientific words, some things about mass, acceleration, net force, something about Newton's second law. Sounds like we need to use some of these things, right? So just remember that as force goes up, acceleration goes up. So that sounds like what was going on with Jason. Like the force was going up, so his acceleration of his ball was going up. That's how he was able to get those strikes. But the acceleration seemed to be very down for Amanda because she wasn't able to get the ball down. And she has a different mass, right? So her weight of her ball is different and the mass of her ball is different. And remember, her ball is 12 pounds, Jason's is 6. So that means that the weight of her ball is twice or double that of Jason. So just remember those things when you're starting to go into your explanation. So I'm going to talk through this part right here, and then I'm going to let y'all go. And because basically you got to get this rough draft done, and I'm telling you right now, do your rough draft first. Do your rough draft first. I tell you again, do your rough draft first, and then your final draft will come out well. Let me tell you what. Okay. So then right here, now we're on to page 76, and you got evidence. So remember, we highlighted the evidence, give 3 pieces of evidence, okay? And then down here for your reasoning paragraph, that's where you should start that part, okay? Cool. So let's just talk about those right quick. All right, so remember, we've already written a claim. So Amanda was having a hard time bowling because, and then you wrote your claim part, like why. And then you're going to grab 3 pieces of evidence. Some people grab like 4. I think that that's apropos because maybe you want to have 2 about Jason, 2 about Amanda. That way you can do some comparisons and explain why. Now down here, right? Let me go there and then go back. So down here where the reasoning paragraph actually starts, so that's the reasoning paragraph right over there, is you have an intro which has your question and your claim. And if you think about it, again, that sentence that we used, right? If you use this sentence, Amanda was having a hard time bowling, that gets your question or your prompt in there, and then your claim should be this part right here. So that should help you out already to do that. And so that means your claim, right, can actually be the first, your intro sentence to your actual reasoning paragraph. Then you want to list out your 3 pieces of evidence and then say why, like connect them to the claim. So if you say it's because Amanda's ball is too heavy for the amount of force she can apply, something like that. If you say something like that, then now you need to prove out how her ball was heavier than Jason's using your evidence, okay? And then the last thing you're going to need, and I don't know why we can't see that, is a conclusion sentence, and that's kind of restating the claim. So you should end up with about 5, 6, 7 sentences there, okay? Now, I'm not making another video for Tuesday, so peep this out, peep this out. So we're cool. Look, I mean, not making another video for Wednesday, because if you look at Wednesday, Wednesday is just, hey, yo, be prepared. Be prepared for the quiz that we're having on Thursday, and then finish this CER. That's it. Finish this CER. So get the rough draft done, and then get everything typed up, and then get that sent in, and then be ready for Thursday's quiz. That's really it for Tuesday and Wednesday. That's all we've been doing. So just make sure you're ready. And if for some reason you're like, well, I'm out this week, which is fine, then hey, next week just go ahead and make up the quiz on another day. Not a problem. Also, inside of modules, which let me see if I can actually, I'm about to cut that. So if you look over here in modules, there was already a quiz review, and then there also is a quizzes that is also in there to help you to be able to get this thing done. So yeah, so again, the quizzes is in there for review. There are the quiz review slides, and then there's the CER that's right there. And just as a reminder here, I'll just click it just so you guys can see everything. All of the instructions are right here, and then you're going to click here. Cool. Once you got your rough draft done, type everything up. We went through what the question or the prompt is, the claim. We already did the evidence. So we did all that stuff more or less together. You just got to finish typing up your reasoning, and then make sure to do not forget to grade using your rubric here, and then score at the end. So highlight each section that you say your score is, and then how many points you believe that you got for this, and then go ahead and get this thing turned in. All right, y'all. That is everything. Peace.